There was a time when movie stars didn't need to chase attention. They simply had it. The men of the 1970s and 1980s walked through Hollywood with a quiet power that came from authenticity, not artifice. Their beauty wasn't flawless, yet it was unforgettable. Harrison Ford's rugged confidence, Al Pacino's burning eyes, and Richard Gere's graceful calm reflected a generation that valued character over perfection. Every wrinkle, every smirk, every pause on screen meant something. They didn't just perform, they lived their roles, turning masculinity into poetry. The allure of those decades still lingers, an age when handsomeness wasn't manufactured, it was earned. The faces of that era remind us that true charm can't be imitated. It's felt, remembered, and passed down through time. That's why the men once called the most handsome Hollywood actor remain timeless symbols of strength, grace, and soul. Harrison Ford. In the late 1970s, when Hollywood was shifting from polished heartthrobs to men with grit and depth, Harrison Ford appeared like a revelation. At around 35, he wasn't the typical pretty face. His angular jaw, tousled hair, and piercing brown eyes carried the kind of rugged appeal that made him both mysterious and magnetic. Whether he was smirking as Han Solo in Star Wars, 1977, or cracking a whip as Indiana Jones, 1981, Ford embodied adventure itself, dusty, daring, and effortlessly handsome. By the mid-1980s, his appeal had matured. Gone was the brash smuggler, in came the man of quiet confidence. Blade Runner, 1982, showed a colder, more reflective beauty. His physique stayed lean, his expressions more restrained, as if age had only carved wisdom into those weathered features. Even now, in his 80s, that silver hair and sharp gaze still command attention. Time hasn't erased his charm, it has deepened it. Beyond looks, Ford's career built the blueprint for modern action heroes. Brave but flawed, masculine yet human. He became a global symbol of adventure, inspiring generations from box office records to cosplay conventions. Rewatch Raiders of the Lost Ark today, then see him in Indiana Jones and The Dial of Destiny, 2023, and you'll witness it. Harrison Ford hasn't aged out of handsome. He's evolved into its definition. Tom Cruise. When Risky Business hit theaters in 1983, America discovered more than a rising actor. It found a symbol of magnetic youth. With his bright blue eyes, boyish grin, and 5'7" frame full of restless energy, Tom Cruise wasn't conventionally tall or sculpted, yet he redefined what handsome could mean. He brought motion to beauty, charm that moved, grinned, ran, and laughed with reckless freedom. That same spark turned Top Gun, 1986, into a cultural explosion, making Maverick's smile and aviator shades shorthand for 1980s cool. But Cruise's impact didn't stop at good looks or blockbusters. He reshaped the very idea of the movie star. Refusing stunt doubles, he made authenticity his brand, performing heart-stopping sequences in Mission Impossible that became cinematic legend. Over a career spanning 4 decades, he's earned 4 Oscar nominations and built one of Hollywood's most profitable film legacies, over $13 billion in global box office. Today, at 62, the once boyish face has grown sharper, the charm more controlled, yet the passion remains untamed. Tom Cruise's beauty was never about youth. It was about motion, mastery, and endurance. His legacy reminds Hollywood that true charm isn't preserved by time. It's fueled by the fearless pursuit of greatness. Clint Eastwood. Before superheroes ruled the box office, Hollywood had Clint Eastwood, a man who didn't need a cape, just a stare. He entered the 1970s already carrying dust from the desert and smoke from the barrel of a gun, but his allure was more than the cowboy myth. His tall 6'4" frame, lean build, and quiet confidence turned stillness into power. Handsome in a way that defied glamour, Eastwood's face, sunburned, unshaven, and unapologetically real, became a symbol of raw American strength. Through the 1980s, as Hollywood favored glossier idols, Eastwood aged with unforced grace. The wrinkles around his eyes became his signature, not a flaw, proof that experience itself could be handsome. Beyond acting, Eastwood's transformation into an acclaimed filmmaker reshaped his legacy. Unforgiven, 1992, and Million Dollar Baby, 2004, earned him 4 Academy Awards, solidifying his place as one of cinema's enduring giants. His private life was complicated, multiple relationships, political debates, yet the public saw something deeper, a man unafraid to evolve. Now in his 90s, Clint Eastwood's beauty isn't about youth or symmetry. It's about authenticity, the kind that stares straight through time and never blinks. Tom Hanks. In an era obsessed with glamour and flash, Tom Hanks brought something quietly revolutionary to Hollywood: kindness. Emerging in the 1980s with Splash, 1984, and Big, 1988, he wasn't the typical heartthrob. Standing about 6 feet tall, with soft eyes, an approachable smile, and a warmth that felt disarmingly real, Hanks proved that charm didn't have to be loud to be powerful. His beauty wasn't in the angles of his face, but in the sincerity of his expression, a rare mix of humor, humility, and heart. As his career evolved through Forrest Gump, 1994, Saving Private Ryan, 1998, and Cast Away, 2000, Hanks matured into a symbol of decency and strength. His transformation from the boyish comedian of the 80s into one of America's most respected actors showed that aging could refine, not diminish, allure. While other stars chased controversy or spectacle, Hanks built a career on empathy, a beauty of spirit that transcends generations. Now in his late 60s, the gray hair and calm presence only deepen his grace. Tom Hanks reminds Hollywood that true handsomeness isn't frozen in youth. It grows with compassion, integrity, and the courage to make goodness cinematic. John Travolta. There was a moment in 1977 when the world stopped and watched a young man walk across a Brooklyn street with a can of paint in one hand and destiny in the other. That man was John Travolta, born in 1954, and now, at 71 years old, he still carries that unmistakable spark. With his broad shoulders and that mischievous half-smile, he carried an energy that was part working-class grit, part movie star glow. When Saturday Night Fever hit, every dance floor on earth tried to imitate his rhythm. He didn't just play Tony Manero, he made disco immortal. Then came Grease, 1978, and suddenly Travolta was more than handsome. He was iconic. The black leather, the slick hair, the attitude that melted into tenderness. He embodied every version of young love the camera could dream of. Fame came fast, and so did the crash. The 1980s humbled him with box office flops and personal heartbreak, reminding the world that even legends stumble. But his return in Pulp Fiction, 1994, wasn't just a comeback. It was resurrection. Older, wiser, and still magnetic, he redefined himself. No longer the disco prince, but a man whose cool had matured into confidence. Today, the wrinkles frame a face still alive with rhythm. John Travolta remains proof that beauty isn't about perfection. It's about movement, reinvention, and the courage to keep dancing when the music changes. Al Pacino. Few faces in cinema hold power like Al Pacino's. Born in 1940 and now 85 years old, he carried into the 1970s a kind of beauty that wasn't polished. It was volcanic. His dark eyes, sharp cheekbones, and raspy voice gave him an intensity that made the camera tremble. When he appeared in The Godfather, 1972, audiences didn't just see Michael Corleone, they witnessed transformation itself. From innocence to menace, Pacino's handsome face became a battlefield between morality and ambition. Through the 1970s and 1980s, his allure deepened. He wasn't the pretty boy kind of handsome, he was the kind that haunted you. Every glance, every pause carried danger and depth. As he aged, the fire in his gaze never dimmed. It only grew more refined, more deliberate, like an artist shaping light from darkness. Pacino's achievements speak for themselves. 9 Academy Award nominations and 1 win for Scent of a Woman, 1992. His career has spanned over 50 years, earning him the title of Hollywood's eternal craftsman. His life, rich in art and complexity, mirrors his characters, flawed yet magnetic. Al Pacino's beauty isn't frozen in youth. It's etched in the lines of experience. Each wrinkle tells a story of a man who never acted handsome. He simply made intensity beautiful. Robert De Niro. Some men don't chase attention, they command it. Robert De Niro, born in 1943 and now 82 years old, is one of those rare actors whose face could tell a story without saying a word. In the 1970s, when Hollywood was turning toward realism, his kind of handsome stood apart, brooding, unpolished, and magnetic. De Niro's transformation in Taxi Driver, 1976, remains one of cinema's defining moments. The lean frame, the shaved head, the whisper of danger. It was raw masculinity stripped down to its core. Then came Raging Bull, 1980, where he gained 60 pounds to portray boxer Jake LaMotta. Each role carved new dimensions into his persona, vulnerable, violent, human. Off-screen, he's been both private and political, unafraid to speak his mind. Age has only added gravity, the silver hair, the calm voice, the unshakable poise. Robert De Niro's beauty has never been about youth or perfection. It's about conviction, the strength of a man who lets silence do the talking. Mel Gibson. When Mad Max, 1979, roared onto the screen, the world discovered a new kind of leading man. Mel Gibson, born in 1956 and now 69 years old, wasn't the polished matinee idol. He was raw power in motion. By the early 1980s, he had become a global sensation, first as the road warrior Max Rokitansky, then as the tortured detective Martin Riggs in Lethal Weapon, 1987. His beauty had danger in it, the kind of face that could shift from tenderness to fury in a heartbeat. Gibson's career soared through the 1990s. Braveheart, 1995, earned him 2 Academy Awards and cemented his reputation as both actor and director. Yet his personal life began to unravel. His public image took heavy blows. A highly publicized DUI arrest in 2006, allegations of anti-Semitic and racist remarks, and a bitter custody battle that spilled into tabloids. For years, he became Hollywood's outcast, the fallen hero of his own epic. Today, his face carries the marks of time and consequence. Older, weathered, but unmistakably alive. Mel Gibson's legacy isn't simple. It's a storm of brilliance and contradiction. He remains proof that some flames, no matter how turbulent, never truly burn out. Kevin Costner. There's a certain kind of beauty that doesn't shout, it lingers. Kevin Costner, born in 1955 and now 70 years old, has spent his entire career embodying that kind of quiet, enduring allure. Sun-warmed skin, calm blue eyes, and a rugged 6'1" frame that seemed carved from the American plains themselves. He wasn't just handsome, he was believable. His rise in the late 1980s and early 1990s was meteoric. The Untouchables, 1987, showcased his moral steadiness. Field of Dreams, 1989, revealed his emotional grace, and Dances with Wolves, 1990, turned him into a legend. But like many stars of his generation, the 1990s also brought turbulence. Overambitious projects like Waterworld, 1995, and The Postman, 1997, bruised his box office image. Still, he never lost the calm confidence that defined him. As years passed, Costner evolved from Hollywood's golden boy into the grizzled patriarch of Yellowstone, where his silver hair and steady gaze captured a new kind of beauty, timeless resilience. Kevin Costner's legacy is the story of a man who aged not downward, but inward, whose strength, both on-screen and off, reminds us that real handsomeness comes from integrity, not perfection. Richard Gere. When American Gigolo, 1980 arrived, it didn't just introduce a new leading man, it announced a new idea of what male beauty could be. At the dawn of that decade, a young actor from Philadelphia with quiet confidence and piercing gray eyes stepped into the spotlight. That man was Richard Gere, whose presence blended intellect with sensuality and whose every glance seemed to carry both warmth and mystery. Standing about 5 feet 10 inches, with an almost dancer-like posture, Gere didn't act like a star. He moved like one. Gere wasn't the kind of handsome that faded under pressure. His allure matured, becoming smoother, wiser, and infinitely more magnetic as the years went by. Off-screen, his story deepened. Drawn to Buddhism and humanitarian causes, he used his fame to amplify compassion, advocating for Tibet, aiding refugees, and living with rare humility. Now in 76, Richard Gere's silver hair and composed demeanor speak of elegance earned, not inherited. His beauty no longer depends on youth. It thrives on peace, purpose, and an ageless grace that time itself can't diminish. Warren Beatty. Emerging in the 1960s and reigning through the 1970s, Beatty was more than an actor. He was an event. With his tall 6'2" frame, perfectly sculpted features, and slow, deliberate gaze, he embodied the golden age of masculine allure. Born on March 30th, 1937, Beatty is now 88 years old, and his magnetism still carries the quiet authority of a man who once made the world stop and look. In Shampoo, 1975, he transformed the image of a charming playboy into a layered portrayal of loneliness beneath glamour. Then came Reds, 1981, his crowning achievement, a sweeping political epic that won him the Academy Award for Best Director and solidified his reputation as a visionary storyteller. Off-screen, Beatty's life was equally cinematic. Known for his long list of high-profile relationships, from Natalie Wood to Diane Keaton, he became Hollywood's most notorious heartthrob until finally settling down with actress Annette Bening in 1992. Today, the boyish grin has faded into a calm dignity, but the essence remains. Warren Beatty isn't just a relic of classic Hollywood, he's its echo, proof that real charm never retires, it simply matures. Jack Nicholson. In an industry built on charm, Jack Nicholson brought danger. Born on April 22, 1937, and now 88 years old, he didn't look like the typical matinee idol of the 1970s, yet his grin could command a room. His eyebrows arched like punctuation marks, his sly smile hinted at secrets, and his gaze, equal parts mischief and madness, turned unpredictability into art. Handsome in his own defiant way, Nicholson's beauty came from charisma, not symmetry. When One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, 1975, arrived, he became the face of rebellion. A performance so magnetic, it earned him his first Academy Award for Best Actor. Today, even in retirement, his presence lingers. The grin, the swagger, the unpredictable charm, they've become cinematic relics of pure authenticity. Jack Nicholson didn't just play characters, he was the pulse of an era. And though time may have slowed him, it never tamed that devilish gleam that made the world fall in love with danger. Dustin Hoffman. In a decade obsessed with perfection, Dustin Hoffman proved that beauty could come from truth. Born on August 8, 1937, and now 88 years old, he entered Hollywood not as a tall, sculpted figure, but as an ordinary man with extraordinary presence. Hoffman broke the mold with The Graduate, 1967, showing the world that vulnerability could be sexy. By the 1970s and 1980s, his sharp intellect and emotional depth became his signature, a different kind of handsomeness that lived in expression, not symmetry. His face, marked by authenticity, told stories that glossy stars could not. He wasn't fantasy, he was reality, messy and magnificent. Today, the warmth in his eyes remains, tempered by time, but still alive with curiosity. Dustin Hoffman didn't just play men, He embodied the human condition, reminding us that true beauty is honesty, not appearance. Jon Voight. There was always something different about Jon Voight. Tall, broad-shouldered, and strikingly handsome, Voight had the classic features of a Hollywood leading man, yet behind the calm blue eyes was a thinker, a dreamer, someone who wore reflection like an accessory. His rise was spectacular. Midnight Cowboy, 1969, introduced him as the beautiful outsider, tender yet tough, and Deliverance, 1972, made him the image of masculine endurance. But it was Coming Home, 1978, that crowned him, the Vietnam veteran whose pain and compassion earned him the Academy Award for Best Actor. In that role, his good looks no longer came from symmetry, they came from sincerity, the kind that makes audiences believe every word, every glance. Now in '86, the once golden hair has turned silver, but the posture remains proud, the smile deliberate, the presence magnetic. Jon Voight is proof that most handsome isn't about youth or fashion, it's about depth. His beauty has always lived in the contrast between strength and soul, a rare harmony that time can weather but never erase. Sylvester Stallone. When Rocky, 1976, first hit theaters, audiences saw more than an underdog. They saw Sylvester Stallone rewriting the American dream. Born on July 6, 1946, and now 79 years old, Stallone carried a rugged kind of handsomeness, the carved jawline, the soulful brown eyes, the muscular frame that seemed built by struggle itself. His face told a story before he ever spoke. Tough, scarred, but unbreakably human. Stallone's rise was nothing short of cinematic. He wrote Rocky when he was nearly broke, refused to sell the script unless he could star, and ended up creating one of the most iconic film series in history. The 1980s turned him into an action god. Rambo, 1982, added fire to the fight, redefining masculinity for a generation that equated muscle with willpower. Today, at 79, his physique remains powerful, his charisma intact. Sylvester Stallone's brand of handsome was never about perfection, it was about perseverance. He's not the prettiest man Hollywood ever made, but he's the one who taught it how to keep fighting. Arnold Schwarzenegger. When Arnold Schwarzenegger appeared on screen, the world didn't just see a man, they saw a monument. Born on July 30th, 1947, now 78 years old, the Austrian bodybuilder turned actor embodied the ultimate evolution of physical beauty, symmetry, strength, and sheer confidence. At 6 feet 2 inches and over 230 pounds in his prime, his physique was so extraordinary it became myth. But what truly made him handsome was the charisma, that glint of humor beneath the muscle. With Conan the Barbarian, 1982, and The Terminator, 1984, Schwarzenegger redefined heroism. His accent, once mocked, became part of his legend. His line, "I'll be back," turned into a global anthem. While others played heroes, Arnold was one, both on screen and off. By the 1990s, he had conquered Hollywood, and then did the unthinkable, politics. As governor of California, 2003 to 2011, he brought the same discipline to leadership that he once brought to bodybuilding. Today, still commanding respect, he mentors young athletes and advocates for clean energy and health. Arnold Schwarzenegger remains proof that power and beauty are not opposites. They're reflections of the same relentless will. Michael Douglas. Michael Douglas, born on September 25, 1944, and now 81 years old, belongs to that league. With his piercing green eyes, refined jawline, and unmistakable voice, Douglas didn't rely on youthful charm. His appeal came from intelligence, danger, and control. He wasn't just handsome, he was in command. The 1980s belonged to him. The China Syndrome, 1979, proved his dramatic weight. But Romancing the Stone, 1984, revealed a new kind of hero, adventurous yet sophisticated. Douglas made power seductive, proving that the sharpness of the mind could be as attractive as the sharpness of the jaw. Through every triumph and trial, Douglas's charm remained steady, never loud, never false. At 81, his silver hair and calm confidence only amplify his elegance. Michael Douglas didn't just age well, he evolved. He remains one of those rare men whose beauty lies not in rebellion against time, but in mastering it. Tom Selleck. Few faces are as instantly recognizable as that of Tom Selleck, the man who made mustaches legendary. Born on January 29, 1945, and now 80 years old, Selleck brought a different brand of handsome to the 1980s. Rugged yet relaxed, traditional yet effortlessly cool, standing 6 feet 4 inches tall, with a deep voice and easy smile, he was the picture of American confidence, wrapped in Hawaiian shirts and quiet integrity. As Magnum, P.I., 1980 to 1988, took over television, Selleck became a global sensation. His character, a private investigator with humor, humility, and heart, made toughness look approachable. He wasn't untouchable like a movie god. He was the kind of man audiences trusted. Later, Three Men and a Baby, 1987, showcased his gentler side, blending masculinity with warmth. Beyond the screen, Selleck kept fame at arm's length, choosing a ranch in California over red carpets. His marriage to Jilly Mack has lasted decades, a rarity in Hollywood, and his grounded lifestyle only adds to his allure. Today, at 80, the mustache is silver, but the charm remains timeless. Tom Selleck's beauty never came from perfection. It came from authenticity, from being the man every generation could look at and simply say, "That's what cool looks like." Kurt Russell. Some actors age, others simply evolve into legend. Kurt Russell, born on March 17, 1951, and now 74 years old, has carried the same mischievous spark for over 6 decades. With his rugged jawline, windswept hair, and that half-smirk that always hinted at trouble, Russell personified a uniquely American kind of handsome. Fearless, free, and just a little rebellious. His rise began early, but the 1980s made him unforgettable. As Snake Plissken in Escape from New York, 1981, he redefined cool, part outlaw, part philosopher. He was handsome, not because he was perfect, but because he looked alive. Every line on his face seemed carved by adventure. Now, with silver hair and that same confident glint, Russell's charm has only deepened. He never chased the spotlight, he let it come to him. Kurt Russell remains proof that real handsomeness doesn't fade with age. It just grows more interesting. Jeff Bridges. Few men have managed to look both rugged and kind at once. Jeff Bridges always did. With his ocean gray eyes, laid-back posture, and rich voice, Bridges became the face of effortless charm, the kind of handsome that feels like home. His early work in The Last Picture Show, 1971, earned him acclaim, but it was the 1980s that solidified his legacy. Tron, 1982, gave him sci-fi cool, while Starman, 1984, showcased his emotional depth. Handsome, yes, but never distant. He made sensitivity masculine. Bridges' artistry didn't stop at acting. A musician, photographer, and painter, he built a life that celebrates creativity in every form. After surviving a life-threatening battle with lymphoma in 2020, Bridges returned to the screen with quiet grace, his silver beard now a badge of resilience. At 75, he remains the embodiment of soulful masculinity, the kind that whispers rather than shouts. Jeff Bridges reminds the world that true handsomeness isn't about perfection. It's about presence, warmth, and an unshakable love for life. They weren't just actors, they were the heartbeat of a generation that redefined what it meant to be captivating. From the intensity of Al Pacino to the quiet grace of Richard Gere and the unshakable strength of Clint Eastwood, their faces carried the stories of an era built on grit, passion, and timeless allure. Every glance, every smile, every imperfect line on their faces told a story that audiences could feel, not just see. The men we remember from the 1970s and 1980s weren't beautiful because of youth alone. They were beautiful because they lived truthfully, on screen and off, turning authenticity into art. Decades later, their influence still shapes how we understand confidence, charisma, and the power of quiet strength. A living reflection of the most handsome Hollywood actors whose legacy continues to inspire new generations. If their magic still moves you, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe, because some kinds of beauty truly never fade.